We have a 138 in progress. Take this out! Take this out! Take this out!
Alright, how's it going, y'all? I am, of course, your host, D-Nag, on this episode 2 now of my talk show. And this here, I'll let him introduce himself, because this is my guest host today. Introduce yourself.
I'm Colby. How's it going? You invited me on this talk show today, and I guess we're going to talk about something, so...
Exactly. And of course, as some of you don't know, I am also partnered with Reaper Clothing. Reaper Clothing and Beef. I believe it's reaperclothing.com. If I'm not mistaken, use code DNAG24 and get yourself 10% off. And perfect. So the first thing I want to talk about today is that the fact that sometimes you realize over time that the world will work in very, very mysterious ways. Sometimes you're going to get knocked down quite a couple times before you end up starting to get where you need to be. Where sometimes you're going to go through really, really tough times. And as much as it sucks, there are days where you don't even want to get out of bed.
Oh, yeah.
In the end, if you keep getting up in the morning, you're going to get where you want to be. You're going to get where life is basically great again.
Yep.
Which is the one thing that sometimes it's really hard to see that sometimes, but in the end, the world will work in very mysterious ways sometimes. It will beat you down to the point where you don't want to get up. But you get up every time, you keep fighting, you brush the dust right off your shoulder,
Yep.
and you're going to get going. And it's all right. It's all right to stumble.
Yeah, sometimes life knocks you down, and you just got to, get back up and keep going.
Yeah. And that's where every morning you wake up in the morning, you got to realize that every day is a gift. It's not a right. Yeah. You don't just get to wake up in the morning. You are waking up in the morning because you've got something else to do on this planet. And you just got to take every day for what it is. You just roll with the punches sometimes, and eventually you're going to see the other side.
Oh yeah, you just got to go with the flow. Some things do get tough, and at the end, that you do make it. So I will say that.
And it's kind of like seeing, like, if you're driving through a tunnel, you go into one side. You're not going to get very much cell reception. There's not going to be anything else on that road except for you, the road, and everybody else running on this road. It's the road we call life. Sometimes you get quite a few forks in the road, but you make a decision, you don't look back, and you just keep going, and eventually there is that light on the other side of the tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
There's a brighter side. Sometimes you really got to wake up in the morning. You got to count. What a lot of people say is you got to wake up in the morning and count your blessings. Like, did you wake up on a bed with the nice covers, heat, roof over your head? All right. Well, there's several blessings right there already.
Oh yeah.
You got a way to contact people and talk to people on your phone. There you go. There's another blessing. You got people that care about you. You got people that love you. There's another blessing.
Social media, yeah.
And that's where it's really like sometimes it's hard to see that you really feel like there's nobody there for you. There's nobody there for me. You're on your own. But in reality, it's really not that way. In reality, you got to think there will always be people that are there for you, and people that care about you, and people that love you.
Oh yeah. Always. There's always going to be friends and family that do. Always. No matter what.
And even sometimes when it doesn't seem like it, the people that you don't, in the times of need, in your times of need, there are people that you normally may even not talk to. But they are all of a sudden there and talk to you and give you the chance to talk to somebody when you most need it. That's why the world works in mysterious ways like that. Like sometimes somebody you know that you may not have talked to in quite a while, in quite some time. And all of a sudden, when you most need it, that person could be there for you. And that's all right.
Oh yeah. Like a distant old friend or, a relative, you don't really quite get along. I mean, they probably mean good for you, like on the long run. So
Yeah, and sometimes even, and especially even with family too. Like there's definitely going to be times with family that you probably don't see eye to eye with somebody, but in the end, you got each other's. If it's still a good situation, you got each other's back no matter what. Because in the end, they're family.
mm-hmm. Blood is blood too. So yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes certain situations are always different. So it kind of depends on the situation. But in the end, most people, if they really care about you, they're going to look past everything and they're going to be like, I'm here for you still because you're my family regardless.
Yeah, especially like small conversations do go a long way. Like a hey, how are you doing? Every once in a while. That goes pretty nicely, I would say, don't you?
Yeah, it's kind of like a check-in type thing.
Yeah.
Like, hey, haven't talked in a while. I know we didn't see eye to eye last time
How
we
you doing?
talked, but how you doing? How's the life going? Certain situations, how are the kids?
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Especially when you see times when relationships do sometimes relationships end for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you don't really see the point, and it looks like the world has ended. That my relationship's over. I've got nothing else. But in the end, that's wrong. Everything happens for a specific reason. And so you just gotta trust in the plan, because every time you wake up in the morning, you still have a plan, and you still have something that you are set to be doing in this life. Sometimes it's about finding it.
Oh yeah, especially like some days, you're like little reasons, in life and like work, especially like your coworkers, and sometimes they appreciate just those small conversations, like what'd you do this weekend, or yeah.
And sometimes even the little conversations as well, like you said, sometimes they actually do matter to somebody more than you could even realize. Like even you don't know what's going on in that person's life, and maybe a little conversation and a little chance to talk to somebody without really caring. Like you just have a conversation, and that second break, just talking about whatever, could mean the world to somebody.
Oh yeah. It goes a long way. It really does.
It really does. And that's where, don't be afraid. Sometimes it may seem like you really shouldn't talk about your situation, about your problems with somebody, but sometimes even really talking to somebody, it really helps more than you could realize, even for yourself. Like, you may not think that it's the best thing to do, and where you think, well, if I tell somebody my problems and what's going on in my head, then they're going to look at me different. They're going to say, oh, this kid's different, this person's different, they shouldn't be thinking that or whatever. Sometimes it doesn't even matter. Sometimes even to get it out, even to let it out, and not even rage at somebody, more or less just kind of have somebody there to vent, really, really helps. Because then it's like, if you get those not perfect people. If you get those people that don't really have an opinion about it,
yep.
And they don't judge you for what it is, and they let you talk, that could go a long way in somebody's life.
Oh yeah, it really does.
And that's where it's like, it's okay to talk. It really is. Even I can tell you, me personally, I've done that too. I've done that several times where it's like, well, if I tell somebody what I'm going through, they're going to look at me like I'm somebody who, makes it seem like everything's okay. In reality, something's not. It's like, you got to end up working on the fact that sometimes you just need to talk. Sometimes you need to find a way to vent, and you need a way to be heard.
Oh yeah. Like, even like, just your day-to-day life and your conversations, with anybody, it just, your point needs to matter, really. So
yeah, and in the end, every single person on this planet matters. Even you watching.
oh yeah,
Everybody matters.
everybody does. Like, it just needs to be heard and expressed. Like, you know, your freedom of speech. Like, you know, YouTube.
Yep. And it don't matter. And people are going to have their opinions. People are definitely going to have their opinions about what you say. But in the end, really, in your personal life, the only person's opinion that matters is realistically yourself. I mean, you can listen to people's opinions and understand it. Some of them are constructive criticism, and that's okay. But in the end, it's really just your opinion matters in your life, and you need to make the decision based on what you think is best for your life, and that's it. And realistically, it's just you. And there's a lot of times when family will really get in the way. I can't say get in the way. Family will tell you what they think that you need to do in your life and what you should be doing, but in the end, realistically, they can't live your life for you. So you can take their opinion and take it into consideration and consider it, but in the end, you got to listen to what you tell yourself and what you really feel like you need to do.
Yep.
In the end, and sometimes it may not be the most conventional. Most of the conventional, like, sometimes even like this, sometimes making YouTube videos, if that's really what you want to do, figure out a way to do it.
Oh,
So in the end, sometimes if that's the way you want to do it and that's the way you want to be heard, who's to say that you can't do it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, get it out. Rather have you get it out and express your feelings and then hold it back, you know?
Yeah.
That's the worst thing you can do to yourself is hold back any feelings you have.
Yeah, and
You're
end
just
up
breaking
bottling it.
down yourself.
Yeah.
In the end.
And the worst thing to do is end up bottling all your emotions inside and keeping them down, because eventually that bottle's going to get full.
Yeah.
No matter how many times you bottle it down and pent up, it's going to come out. It's going to start overflowing.
It has to. At some point, it does. It has to come out.
And then you'd rather tell yourself that it's okay to tell somebody and not keep it bottled up compared to bottling up and then raging at somebody, even if they're simply just saying, "Hey, how's it going?" and you snap on them because your bottle's overfull. It happens, but it's not realistically okay, because nobody deserves the brunt end of that bottle overflowing.
No. You just got to figure out, you know, your own way of expressing those feelings.
Yeah.
So.
And it's really about finding what you're passionate about. Because there's a lot of people that are passionate about working on cars. A lot of people have passions about that. A lot of people have passions on anything else. It may not even be the most over the top thing in the world, but if you're passionate about it and it's your hobby, do it.
Yep.
Because if that's the way you want to do it, that's the way you want to do it, and there's nobody else telling you otherwise.
Yep. If you want to go race, go race. I mean, yeah.
As long as you're being safe about it and being safe and make sure you go home at the end of the day to the people that care about you.
Yep, there you go.
Who's to say you can't do it?
There you go, yeah. No.
And that's realistically, and it also depends, take everything with a grain of salt as well. Because there's definitely going to be people that tell you that you shouldn't do something, that you shouldn't do this, and that they're going to be haters. To put it into basic terms, there's going to be haters that tell you, don't do this, don't do that, and you're stupid for doing that. Don't listen to them.
Yeah, I mean, people, you know, tell you that your whole life, you know.
Yeah.
The whole time, and you're just trying to do great for it, so just keep doing you. What matters? Who matters what they think, you know?
Yeah.
At the end, you're going to do you how you want to.
Yeah.
So go for it.
Yeah. And realistically, you just take that hate and take the hate and be like, hey, that's your opinion. That's on you. That's it. And then just keep walking forward and keep looking at your goal. Set yourself a goal. Whether you write it down, whether you type it out, whether you put it on a board, set it up on your wall, make a goal for yourself.
Yeah.
And even sometimes if you start out small, you realistically could start out small. Start out several points where you want to reach. And then once you reach those, set more. Make sure to have a goal in mind on where you want to be and go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And don't stop, and don't let anybody stop you until you get there. Because once you reach your goals, it is a really good feeling in life to reach your goals and be like, I made my goals. I made it.
Oh, yeah. Anybody can do anything if you put your mind to it, literally.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all about point of perception on how you see your life. Everything now is all about perception and how you see it and how you want to see your life. Now, that's not saying I see this point in life differently, that I should tell somebody that that's wrong, because that's not the case. You shouldn't go around telling everybody this is the way you should look at it, not this way, because everybody's going to do the way they want. And that's perfectly okay. People have their opinions and people are going to do whatever they want. And in the end, it's all right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to do something completely different from you, you know.
Exactly.
And we're just going to agree to disagree. That's just how it works.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's more or less about respecting somebody else's opinion that you talk to, compared to hearing their opinion, being like, nah, that's wrong, you have a wrong opinion. No. Everybody's going to have their own opinion. It's just a matter of whether or not you are capable of respecting their opinion, being like, okay, that's the way you want to do it. That's the way you want to do it.
Yep. Like, yeah. And the respect thing goes, you know, a long way. If you can respect someone, they'll respect you back.
Yeah. Respect is something that kind of falls to the wayside now. It really does. Sometimes you find people that really don't respect each other. And in the end, sometimes it's about learning respect again before, to really truly see how things are really going wrong.
Yeah, true. I guess. Only in some situations.
Yeah.
Not all, but
Yeah.
in some.
And it certain kind of depends. And I mean, it's about, and really you'll get sometimes those times too where it's like, somebody is really, really disrespectful, and they are absolutely set on disrespecting everybody that they see.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that's just going to be the way it is.
Yep.
Sometimes you'll get those people where they're just like, they absolutely hate everybody, and they're going to disrespect everybody's opinions. And you really kind of got to let that almost bounce right off your shoulder and be like,
yep.
You just kind of roll your shoulders like it is what it is.
Yeah. Just move. Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah. And again, it's going to be and it's, for them, it's art, you know, and for them, sometimes they don't even see that they're doing something wrong, but it's like, in the end, that's a disrespectful way of going about it. But I mean, it's going to be it's a phrase that really goes unheard now. It is what it is. In any situation, really, you could use that and say, you know what, it is what it is, and keep going. Because sometimes people get lost. People get lost along their way, along their journey. So it's a matter of, sometimes if you get the opportunity, if you see somebody that's lost in their way and they want help about it, see, in realistic terms, somebody's on the side of the road with a flat tire and they don't understand how to take the tire off and put the spare tire on. Sometimes if you're willing, it's always great to help people. It's just a matter of whether people are willing to, you know, pull over to the side of the road and help that person out. If they clearly don't understand what to do, if you have the capabilities of helping them out and helping them, show them the way,
there you go.
Do it.
Yeah, help them out.
Because it's always about, and it's not even random acts of kindness, because a lot of people say that's my random act of kindness for the day. It's just about respecting people.
Yeah, I would, you know, if I was stuck in that situation, I would hope someone would pull over, you know, and be like, hey, do you need a jack? Or, hey, can I give you a ride to the nearest tire store?
Yeah.
You know, that would be the nice thing to do.
Yeah.
I'd be like, sure, you know, sweet, thank you, you know.
Yeah. It's really about just hoping that, you know, it's all about, like I said, it's all about respecting people and just being kind. Even if somebody doesn't see it at that point and be like, well, I don't need the help. I'm like, okay, it is what it is, and keep going. At least you offered. At least you offered to help show the way. Some people don't want the help, and that's okay. And that's on them. If they don't want the help, they don't want the help, and you just respect their opinion and keep going about your life. At least you tried.
Yep.
That's where I feel we could really go a long way with just respecting each other. Just respecting each other's opinions and trying to be nice.
Oh, yeah.
And not even like in an overly aggressive kind of way. It's more of the fact that just be kind. And it's like, even like the basic terms of like opening up a door for somebody as they're walking into a store.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
I don't, even because I do that all the time. If I have the opportunity and somebody's walking up to the door as I'm walking out, you're darn right, I'm going to hold the door open for them. Be like, all right.
True, yeah.
And I don't even expect anything back from it.
No.
Because it's not about expecting something back from being kind. It's just doing it.
Yep.
Because that personally makes me feel better when somebody says, hey, thank you. Even if they don't say thank you. And they just kind of nod at you. It's like, hey,
It's all right.
at least I did it.
Yeah, there you go.
At least instead of making sure the door shuts on my way out before everybody else, that's not the right.
No.
And some people aren't going to do the same thing, but in the end, it's really just like opening up a door for somebody, or if somebody drops something, pick it up and say, hey, you dropped this. Here you go. Have a nice day. That's it.
Yeah.
Even random compliments like that, just basic compliments like, hey, have a nice day. Hope you're having a good day. How's your life going?
Hey, even I like them shoes.
Yeah.
Those are some bright shoes.
Yeah.
Where can I get them at? you
Yeah.
know?
Sometimes it goes a long way. Even the simple things. Even if you don't know somebody, it's like, I know somebody done something like, say, hey, for me personally, if somebody's wearing a Steelers hat, Steelers jacket, I'm be like, hey, yo, go Steelers. I like the Steelers too. You're like, yeah, all right, feel it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not even sitting there and having a conversation with them. It's just a random comments that to some people you notice, you never know, but that could change. And that could be like, hey, that person was really nice. And they'll go think about you like, hey, that guy at the store, he complimented my jacket. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the end, everything's going to happen. Stuff's going to get thrown at you quite a bit in an abstract sense of like, there are going to be a lot of situations where you are having the greatest life you possibly could and you think everything's all right. I always kind of say expect the unexpected, but not in an overly what's the word? Obsessive type of way. Obsessive. Where expect the unexpected, but it's like, don't be like overly obsessive. Like something's going to happen.
Oh yeah. You can't be.
Yeah. And that's not the way not a good, healthy way of doing it, being obsessive like something's going to happen. But I always be wary of your situations. And if you try and if something, you never know what kind of ripple effects that are going to happen with that. Like if you make one choice, yeah, something could happen. Or if you make the other choice, something could happen in that situation. We can't even be obsessive about it. It's like,
yeah.
Situations are going to go completely sideways regardless. Sometimes it happens. You're going to get a situation where you're living great. You're living life. You're living great. And something could happen.
Oh yeah, you can be on top 1 minute and one wrong move and
right back to the bottom.
Yeah, your girlfriend breaks up with you and takes your house, or your wife takes your house, and
yeah,
now you're in a cardboard box. Oh man, square one.
Yeah.
Where do I go? Well,
sometimes and even in that sense too, like sometimes being at the bottom again makes you realize the way things were going, and it makes you learn. It really makes you learn what not to do. Not even what not to do, but like, all right, I get it. It makes you learn, like, is there anything that I could have done better? Is there anything that somebody could have carried that situation better? Yeah, there could be.
Yeah.
And then again, it's about improving yourself to the best possible version you can be, and always striving for that.
Well, there's always going to be obstacles, and you just always got to overcome them obstacles.
Yeah.
So.
And not everybody's going to stay in your life forever. Sometimes that is what it is.
Yeah.
Even like the people that you graduate high school with. You say, oh, we're all going to stay connected. In the end, 9 times out of 10.
Do you really?
That's not going to be the case.
No.
So not everybody's going to be, not everybody's going to be in your life forever. But it's like, and then you get those situations where somebody unexpected comes into your life, and you may not even know that person at all. And then sometimes you just kind of start hanging out and start, talking to somebody, and it's like, oh, I didn't expect this, but hey,
yep,
you ride with it.
Yep, and you just go with the flow.
Yeah.
So you just gotta do, just go with the flow.
Yeah, and it's really not in some sense. You see sometimes where it's like where somebody's like, oh, something really bad happened to me, and I'm going to block everybody else out and stay in my situation and not do anything because I don't want anybody else out. And really, and that's a weird way of doing it, but in the end, again, again, you really got to respect their choice, but it's like, why would you want to live life being scared of everything?
Yeah, true. I mean, sometimes that you just can't be.
Yeah.
You just gotta live life. Like, you just gotta go for it.
Yeah. And even like big situations too. If it's like a big decision, yeah, it's human nature to be scared of making a big decision, but it's like you gotta go for it.
Like, yeah, you just gotta go for it. What's the worst that's gonna happen? A simple no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just move on and go try again.
Yeah. And it's like, don't be scared. Don't be scared of the fact that you got to make a big decision. It's okay to be scared about it, but it's different to be completely afraid of it and try to completely avoid it. Because that's not how you live life.
No.
Life is about making mistakes.
Yeah.
In reality, it's really, excuse me, it's really making mistakes. Sometimes getting dropped right back down to the bottom of the hill. But in the end, we're trying to climb up to the top of the hill, so you gotta pick yourself up and you gotta keep going.
Yeah, the bottom of the hill, you just gotta keep climbing. The rocks keep coming, you just gotta keep going.
Yeah.
The avalanche comes down, you just, keep going till you get to the top.
And it's not a bad thing. And again, it's not a bad thing to hit the bottom of the hill and hit a couple of rocks on the way down. But in reality, at least you know those rocks are right there where you hit them on the way back down. You make sure I'm not hitting those rocks on the way back up.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go, Phil.
It may have hurt falling down to the bottom, but at least I know, hey, that rock's right there.
Yeah,
I know exactly where that one's at because I hit that one, and that one. But I know not to walk that way.
Yep.
Because then it's another thing. Even in a situation where, like I said, you fall down to the bottom, realize what happened. Sometimes it's okay. You get those people where, like, it's okay to look at a situation and analyze it, be like, okay, that's where this went wrong. At least I know not to get myself right back into a situation like that.
Yeah.
Because, again, even in a situation where I said in the last episode, if the story doesn't change in a situation, the ending of the book's going to be the same way.
Yeah.
If you go back into if you read that book again and know that it's not changing and it's the same exact thing, 9 times out of 10, and almost 100% of the time, if the situation is exactly the same, the story is exactly the same, it's going to end the same way.
Yeah.
The ending of the story is not going to magically change.
No, it's not.
It's gonna. Nobody's waving a magic wand around you, being like, "Hey, the situation's the same, but this is different." No. In the end, you're gonna realize it's. Why don't live in trying to be like somebody else? Like, I can't live my life trying to be this guy, or he can't.
Yeah.
He can't live life trying to be me.
Yeah.
In the end, you gotta. What better way to live life is it than to be happy with being you?
Yeah, just be you. Like, who cares? Just live your life. Go
Yeah.
be you.
Yeah.
You want to go do something, go do it.
Yeah.
Why not? You can do it. You're the only one that can make the decision for that.
Yeah. In the end, sometimes it may look like life sucks. A lot of people say that now, where life sucks. But in the end, if you really live life to the absolute fullest point that you can and try to be the best version of you, there's no better way. No. In a sense of, like, life is about making mistakes and falling down and getting back up, but you live life like you throw your hands up like, hey, I'm here, I'm doing what I can, and I'm doing the best that I can. That's all that I can ask about myself.
Yeah, there you go.
Try to be the best version of you, learn from your mistakes, but in the end, it's just like, hey, we're all trying to make it.
Yeah.
We're all trying to get somewhere. We're all trying to be something of ourselves.
Yeah.
Do it.
Sometimes, we're just like each other. Sometimes we all just put, one shoe on at a time, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, you tie your shoelaces, boom. Everybody else does.
Yeah. Nobody else is going to tie your shoe for you.
Yeah.
And in the end, sometimes you get those people where they're going to try and offer to tie your shoe for you and tie your shoelaces together and make you trip.
Oh, come on.
But it's okay, because at least that person's going to tie my shoelaces together again 9 times out of 10. sometimes it's all right. And sometimes even having somebody with you, or having somebody in your life that you know that, yeah, you can give each other crap all the, times here and there, give each other a little shit, but like sometimes if you have somebody there with you that you're riding through life, whether it be a relationship, a best friend, a family member, a brother, a sister, you don't even always have to consider somebody just because you share blood. You don't have to always share blood with somebody in order to consider them your brother or your sister or vice versa.
Yeah, you just like me and him, like we've grown up, for like a long time. And I consider him my brother because
Exactly.
we've just been friends for so long.
Exactly.
So long.
It's all right to have. It's perfectly great, and you can have a buddy, not even a buddy system. I can't call it, but like in a sense of it, somebody you go through life with, where it's just like, hey, you watch each other go through absolute hell, but you're gonna be, you know that person's gonna be there picking you up. Even when you're absolutely drunk or not in your best mood, that person's going to be, if you know that person's going to be there for you, they're going to be picking you up at the end of the night and helping you like, all right, let's keep going. That's sometimes can even be the greatest thing to ever happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's perfectly okay to have those people in your life where you're like, man, this guy's crazy as hell, but we got each other's back.
Oh, yeah.
Where you really got to know your circle. You really know your circle. And I mean, if you have somebody in your circle that's going to change something and be like, all right, that guy, I don't trust that guy. It's all right. Yeah. Know your circle.
Know your circle. Always keep your circle like tight and a good friendship,
Yeah.
Always a good friendship.
Yeah. And that's not even a sense of know your circle right here and close everybody else out.
No, that's like know everybody.
Yeah. It's a circle of keep the people that you trust close to you.
Yes.
But it's also, if somebody comes into your life and you start to trust them, it's all right to let somebody else new in.
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes a change of pace can be really good. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, if I'm doing things exactly the same way every single day, sometimes it's even really good to have one of those days where I kind of like a cheat day on a diet. Be like, hey, normally I don't do this, but hey, I'm going to eat that candy bar. I'm going to drink that soda. Cheat days are very good because they can be very good for the soul.
Oh yeah, cheat days are awesome with the diet. I love it. Cake.
Yeah.
Oh man, now you're making me hungry.
Yeah, that's all right. But it's like, but in the end, life's gonna be the way it is.
Yeah, it is. Well.
But we've probably about reached our time, so I'm probably gonna say this is gonna be it for tonight. It for this episode. Please do make sure to go subscribe to this YouTube page because these are going to be happening every Friday, whether they get posted Friday night or Saturday morning. I'm going to be recording these episodes every Friday. And like this time, you're going to see somebody different. Sometimes you'll see somebody different. Sometimes you'll see three of us sitting here with my normal co-host Natsu, but go check out his Twitch, his YouTube. I believe it should be his Twitch is Mr. Natsu now, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it is. Go check him out too. That guy's a great supporter. 100%. Sometimes you'll see a guest co-host like my brother here.
All right.
Sometimes you'll see, again, if you want to come on to the show, if you want to come on and talk about whatever and talk about life, talk about stuff, do let me know. Message me any way that you can, whether it's on my social medias, Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok. I'm still on TikTok. Message me, and we'll talk something out. Because if you feel the need to be heard and to just have people to talk to, I'm always here. I have an open door. No matter who it is, no matter even if I don't know you. If I don't know you and you still need to talk to somebody and to want to come on the show and be heard and get a chance for people to hear you out, I am more than welcome to that because this is what I'm here about. And again, I'm aspiring to be one of these people so people are heard because I know what it's like not to be heard and to be seen like everything's okay and not to be okay. But everything's going to be all right in the end it is. You have anything else that you'd like to talk? Anything like you'd say?
No, just have a good night or a good day or whenever you want. watch this video, or that's about all.
Exactly right. So without further talking, I'm going to end the video here, and please go make sure, if you do, go subscribe. Please make sure to subscribe. We are on our show. We are about, I think, 30 subscribers by the time I'm recording this. The last video is up to 101 views in 6 days, so that is absolutely awesome, and I love the support from all of you, because that is the first video I posted in about 2 years already, and 100 views in 6 days is absolutely awesome, but I'd like us to keep running these up more. So share if you can, because even if you don't need to hear this message now, somebody else in your life probably needs to hear this and really could use these views. So without further ado, I bid you all good night. Peace.
We have a 138 in progress. Take this out!